Listen.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again today, people. Today we're here for Bakuage Sentai BoonBoomger episode 11, and this was a wholesome episode. And in this episode we got introduced to a brand new enemy, and we got to see our, I'm about to say writers, we got to see our Sentai fight each other, which was a little jarring and kind of, it was funny. it was funny. It was dope seeing the synchronization fighting with everyone technically, because everybody was like very synchronized. Like the choreography in this whole fight just seemed like it was just a blast to kind of do. But yeah, especially the teamwork between Genba and Taya. But in this episode we see that Taya is basically doing a delivery for this man who is basically supposed to be like his mentor slash like father figure. And it seems, and this guy, he loves Taya. Like he's like, yeah, this my boy. He keeps calling him my boy majority of the whole episode, really. And we see that Taya has been given this delivery to do for a child that's in the hospital, and this child basically says that I want a BoonBoomger. Like, so you have this little plush of Boon Red, and he wants Taya to deliver it to him. So Taya's like, okay, I'll do it. You know, like, you don't have to pay me. You pay me, and a child smiles and stuff like that. Just an upstanding guy, you know. So he gets ready to go off on his his solo thing, and we see that our three Hashirara-sen are basically, they're just chilling for the day. They want a day off and stuff like that, and out of nowhere we see this new guy who has been basically sent there, but they don't know who he is. He's obviously part of the family, but they don't know who he is, and he introduces himself as Cannonborg. And Cannonborg seems like a very, very different type of person that Mad Rex was. He's a commander as well, but he seems that he's very different from Mad Rex. It seems like this guy is more on the science, technology, upgrading, modification kind of side of things. And he's basically been sent there to Earth to basically help them get the gas line for this planet, because they haven't gotten a gas line yet because the BoonBoomger been busting everything they've been throwing at them. So he basically ends up creating he gets them to basically create a new monster, and this monster is basically like a satellite, right? And he has the power to control people. He's basically able to put a satellite kind of antenna on people's heads, and when he does that, he's able to control them. And when he controls them, he basically seeps the gas line out of the people. So we see that our BoonBoomger kind of get the word on this. We see that Boon Blue, he sees what they all basically see what's going on, so that everybody basically henshins up while they're also being attacked by the people that he's controlling. And we see that the people they're aware that they're being controlled, but they just can't control their body, right? So they ended up getting the upper hand on the monster, and they ended up destroying the antenna on his head. When they ended up destroying the antenna on his head, first it releases all the people. They end up running away, and we see that for some reason he powers up and upgrades himself and gives himself a new antenna on his arm, and he uses this antenna to basically fight off the rest of the BoonBoomger, and ends up using it on everybody but Genba. And that's when he sicks them on Genba, and Genba's basically trying to defend himself from everybody else. And while that's happening, everybody else is kind of like, I can't control myself, stuff like that. So we end up seeing that Boon ends up calling Taya and tells him that, hey, we got a new thing going on. We got a new monster attack. We need you to help everybody else because they're already out there fighting it. We see that Taya's like, okay, cool. He said, okay, cool. I'll be there right away. And he ends up calling up his mentor and telling him that, hey, I ran into an emergency, but I'm still gonna make the delivery on time. And his mentor's like, okay, cool, I trust you. Go out there and get him and stuff like that. So Taya ends up going to the scene. He ends up transforming up, and he ends ends up basically trying to fight off everybody else while also trying to fight the monster, and he sees that they're all being controlled, and him and Gemba end up teaming up to basically fend off the rest of the team. So while they're doing that, we see that they find out by revving up their boom boom changers, it actually disrupts the frequency of the antennas on everybody's head. Once they keep revving it, it ends up disrupting the frequency and end up destroying end up popping the antennas on their heads, and they end up getting control of themselves again, and they end up fighting off the monster and end up beating him. And then we get to our mecha fight where Yadu Yadu transforms and stuff. We get our gimmick for Rainbow Road. He throws out a bunch of antennas and things like that, and they end up making him run off-road. When he runs off-road, he ends up releasing the monster, and then we get into our mech fight. And when we get into our mech fight, they end up defeating him by transforming into Boom Boom Knight. The dual bladed blade form. They end up transforming into that, and they ended up overall defeating him. And once they defeat him, we see that the new commander, new commander Cannonborg is basically taking all this in. He's observing and stuff like that. He's like, all right, cool. Well, I guess since you guys can't do this, I'm taking over command now. And now that he's basically building data and stuff on the BoonBoomgers, and basically trying to figure out some way to basically defeat them. So after all that's said and done, we end up seeing Taya. He goes to the hospital to see this child, and when he ends up getting to the hospital, he's in his ranger form, and he's holding up the Boom Boom plushie up to the kid, and he makes that kid's day and delivers it, stuff like that, and basically fulfills this kid's wish of he wanted a BoonBoomger to come and deliver everything to him. So that's when his mentor gets a call on the phone that says, hey, Boon Red showed up to the hospital and delivered the thing. And then that's when his mentor puts two and two together and realizes that, oh, Taya is Boon Red. And we see a little portrait picture of them together when Taya was younger. So it seems like this guy has been in Taya's life for a very, very long time. Seems like this is basically his pseudo father figure. And I can't wait to see the backstory between Taya and this guy. It seems like he's going to be a reoccurring character, a character this important to one of our rangers lives, especially the Red Ranger. Seems like he's going to be a reoccurring character. We're going to see a lot more of him in the future. But this episode was dope. It was very wholesome. I loved it. I did like the concept of we see how everybody would fare if they were fighting each other, stuff like that. And yeah, I love the synchronization between Taya and Gemba, where they had that Android 18 to 17 kind of synergy going on. I mean, I saw it. I mean, I don't know. I guess if my perception is off, let me know. But other than that, it was dope. I did love this episode, and I do love Cannonborg. I can't wait to see what he's about to bring to the table. I am surprised that the other three did not know who he was. I guess I feel like they should know all the other some of the other commanders and higher ups in the family, since they are part of the family, or maybe he's part of another branch of the family that they've never seen or something like that before. So yeah, but he's here, and I'm ready to see what he's gonna do further on down the line, and see what kind of schemes and conniving things that he's gonna do in the background, because he was able to upgrade the monster. Without them seeing, and that's how he was able to power up and get that extra antenna on his arm. So I'm ready to see what other upgrades and things that he's going to do to these monsters to make it harder for our BoonBoomger to actually take these monsters out. So can't wait to see the next concept he has going on. And then next episode, we're going to get a special cameo appearance from a very special ranger. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but he looks dope, and I'm glad to see it. But other than that, I can't wait to see what we got going on next, man. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these other higher up Hashirasen, come up here and then show their stripes. But yeah, this episode was dope. You guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Bakuage Sentai BoonBoomger. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As remember, as I always say, guys, stay henshined.